So you wanna buy a Fujifilm lens, but you're staring at all these different options and wondering what's the difference between same looking lenses but $500 apart. I get it, the Fujifilm's lineup can be confusing, but in this video, I'm breaking down the entire lineup, explain what each lens is built for, who is it for, and by the end, you will know exactly which one to buy. So Fujifilm makes a lot of lenses, but here's the thing, almost every lens they make falls into two main categories. Once you understand that, the whole lineup becomes a lot easier to navigate. On one side, you have zooms, one lens, many focal lengths, you turn the ring and the view changes. On the other side, you have primes, locked to single focal length, can't zoom at all. That sounds like a downgrade, but primes are generally much sharper, smaller, and they let a lot more light in. But before going there, let's start with the zoom lenses. Fujifilm makes a lot of zoom lenses, but here's the thing, almost all the zooms they make falls into one of four main tiers. On one end, you have the entry-level zooms, the ones that came bundled with your camera, then all-in-one zooms, built to cover wide to far so you never swap lenses. Then the professional zooms, constant aperture, better sealed, built for people who shoot for a living or doing this in a serious level. And finally, telephoto zooms, for anything far away, wildlife, sports, portraits, you name it. Let's start with the entry level. This is basically where everyone starts. If your camera is bundled with a lens, it's generally one of these. At the bottom, you've got the XC 15 to 45mm at around $350 and the XC 13 to 33mm at around $400. These are the true entry-level kit lenses. Plastic and the aperture doesn't open very wide, so they'd struggle a bit indoors or in darker situations. If one came with your camera, just use it, but I don't prefer to buy them separately unless you're on really tight budgets. The one I would actually point you to is the new XF 16 to 50 f2.8 to 4.8 at around $850. It's the current starter lens and it's genuinely good, but the best thing is you can get crazy deals if you get it bundled with a camera. It's weather sealed, only 240 grams, and it doesn't extend when you zoom. Buy this, shoot it for a few months, and it will tell you what to buy next. Now, if you're willing to go used, this whole section becomes a lot cheaper. Some people just care about the body when they upgrade and don't really care about the kit lenses, so they generally sell it for cheap at around like $600 and you can get a pretty good deal even for a brand new one. And another lens to hunt for is the XF 18 to 55mm f2.8 to f4, around $400 to $500 second hand. For over a decade, this was the famous and goated starter lens. Fuji discontinued it, but it's still excellent, stabilized, metal, and beloved among the Fuji enthusiasts. If you find one cheap, that's actually not a downgrade, it's just not something that you can go in a store and buy it brand new. So the next section is the all-in-one lenses. These have one job. They cover from the wide to the far end so that you don't have to change lenses. Let's start with the XF 16 to 80mm f4, around $850. This is the natural step up from the kit zoom and it's the one a lot of Fuji shooters end up living on. It trades reach for quality of life. A constant f4 aperture so the brightness doesn't drop as you zoom in, and up to 6 stops of stabilization, meaning you can handheld hold it where you will normally need a tripod. If 16 to 50 feels limiting and you don't have to go into the primes, this is where you go. And Fujifilm also offers it in bundles, so you can get great deals at both new and second-hand markets. The classic in this category is the XF 18 to 135mm at around $1,000. Weather sealed, stabilized, and it covers basically everything you will need on a vacation. You get more reach than the 16 to 80mm, but less consistency in the aperture. The XF 18 to 120mm f4 at $1,000 is a video one. It has a power zoom, and the zoom is driven by a motor instead of your hand, so it moves smoothly and silently inside the camera. If you're shooting video, This is an all-in-one lens that covers wide to telephoto range. The honest trade-off across this whole section is these lenses are decent at everything, but not exceptional at anything. And that's precisely what you are buying. Now let's go into the next section, which is the best zoom lenses Fujifilm makes. Fuji has a red badge on them. If you are coming from Sony, it's the same idea as their G Master line. It's the badge that means this is the top tier. You get the flexibility of a zoom lens without the compromise that it normally comes with. The standard one is the XF 16-55mm f2.8 Mark II at around $1,400. And get the Mark II specifically because Fuji cut down the weight from 655 grams down to 400 while keeping the image quality the same. This is the lens that lives on a professional Fuji bodies and rarely comes off. And the telephoto one in this category is the XF 50-140mm f2.8 at around $1,900. Sports, events, portraits from across a room, you name it. And the ultra-wide one in this category is the XF 8-16mm f2.8 at around $1,800. You can use it for landscapes, architecture, cramped interiors, and it's 805 grams. But the only issue is it can't take normal screw-on filters. The front element bulges out too far, so it's a specialty tool at a specialist price. So who are these lenses for? Obviously, if you are shooting for money, this is where you should live. But it's not just for professionals. If you like the best quality that Fujifilm can offer, with the convenience of using a zoom lens, this is the section for you. As a return, you're paying for it, and they're generally heavier than their counterparts. But nothing else in the lineup can actually compete when it comes down to quality and convenience. So another zoom category that we are going into right now is the telephoto. If your subjects are far away, wildlife, birds, planes, sport, then you need one of these, and it has a clear ladder for lenses and for price points. Start with the XC 50-230mm at $450. It's plastic, no weather sealing, but sharper than it has any right to be. This is the cheapest possible way in Fujifilm to find out whether you actually enjoy shooting with a telephoto lens. And one step up from this lens is to XF 70-300mm at $950. You get weather sealing, better optics, more reach, and more importantly, it has a teleconverter compatibility. A teleconverter is a small adapter that sits between the lens and the camera and multiplies your reach. Fuji makes a 1.4x and a 2x adapters, so that 300mm becomes 420 or 600 for a couple of $100 instead of 2000 for the new lens. The XF 100-400mm at around $2,200 is the serious one, and the lens Fuji shooters actually recommend to each other for safari or birding. The XF 150-600mm at $2,400 is the maximum you can reach with a zoom lens in Fujifilm lineup. X 600mm, which seems like 900 on a full-frame camera, you're photographing birds' eyelashes from across a field. One thing worth knowing before investing money on this category, reach is expensive and addictive. Every step up in this ladder almost doubles the cost. So be honest with yourself and actually thought about what you shoot. The 50-230 at $450 will tell you this faster and for cheaper than the 100-400 will. Now we go into the next product category, which is the primes. There are mainly 4 groups in here. Wide and compact is really 2 different ideas sharing a section. Wide angle lenses, which are about how much of the scene you can fit in a frame, and compact lenses on the other hand, which are just about size, small enough to disappear in a pocket. Then the Trinity. 3 lenses, a lot of Fuji shooters call the only lenses you will ever need. Then fast glasses, for when you want more light than the Trinity gives you. And finally, telephoto and macro lenses. I call them specialty lenses. Each one is built for one specific job and they're not for general shooting. You don't buy these lenses as your first lenses, but you buy them when you want that extra performance. Let's start with wide and compact. On the wide side, the pick is the XF16mm f2.8 at $450, 155 grams, better sealed, and it's the part of what Fuji shooters call the Fujifilm series. Small, sealed, f2-ish primes with a reputation for punch above their price. If you want more light, there is the XF16mm f1.4, around $1,200. Same field of view, much wider aperture, and famously close focusing distance, so you can get right on top of a subject. And the next lens in the list is the XF18mm f1.4, around $1,050. A modern, fast wide lens, linear motor, better seals, and built for 40 megapixel bodies. And that's the wide end. Now, the other half of this section is about something completely different, the size. The XF27mm f2.8 is a pancake lens at $450, and there is really only one lens here because there doesn't need to be a second. 84 grams, it's so thin that the camera stops being a camera and becomes something that fits in a jacket pocket. And the next section is, I think, the most important one in the whole prime section. There are three lenses Fuji shooters call the Fujifilm Trinity: the XF23mm f2, XF35mm f2, and the XF50mm f2, around $400 to $450 each. All weather seals, all small, 150, 170, and 200 grams. The 23mm sees like a 35mm on a full-frame body. Classic street and travel focal length, wide enough for context, tight enough to have a subject. And a 35mm sees like a 50mm in full frame. The most classic focal length in photography, roughly what your own eyes see. And the 50mm sees like a 75mm in full frame, short telephoto that flatters faces and gives you a background blur without standing awkwardly close to someone. I think you don't need all the three lenses in here. You can easily get away with one or two depending what you're actually shooting. And that's the entire advantage of getting primes. You're not paying for the range you're not going to use. One money note, there is an XC35mm f2 for $250 with the same optical formula as its Trinity siblings. But what you give up is the weather sealing, the metal body, and the aperture ring. If budget is genuinely tight, that's a $250 lens with a 400 lenses optics inside it. Now, this is the section where people spend the most money. Everything in here exists for one reason: to let more light in than the Trinity does. Wider aperture means better in the dark and more background blur, and that's the entire pitch. And the cost is the size, weight, and the money, and also has the added benefit of the increased sharpness. Fuji makes 3 primes in everyday range with an f1.4 aperture. The XF35mm f1.4 at around $700 is the cult lens. It launched in the system back in 2012, and people write poetry about its rendering. There is a specific character to how it draws out of focus areas and renders skin tones that a lot of photographers genuinely prefer. But on the other hand, the trade-off is real too. It's not weather sealed, and the autofocus is noticeably slower and noisier than anything modern in current lineup. The XF33mm f1.4 at $950 covers essentially the same field of view, but it's the modern answer. Linear motor for fast, silent autofocus, weather sealed, optics built for 40 megapixel sensors. You lose a bit of that older lens's specific character, and you gain speed, weather sealing, and reliability. The XF23mm f1.4 at around $950 is a cleaner case. It replaced an older, slower 23mm f1.4, and the improvement is almost entirely autofocus speed with less of a character trade-off. If 23mm is your focal length and you want that extra light over the $500 f2 version, this is the one to get. And the next one is the portrait king. The XF56mm f1.2 at around $1,200 is the lens people buy Fuji for. f1.2 is a lot of light, and the background separation is a thing that separate this lens from the others. If portraits are your thing, this is the destination and answer from the Fujifilm. And the next one is a flex, the XF 50mm f1 at around $1,800. An f1 aperture, that's not a typo. This lens literally sees in the dark and produces depth of field so thin that you can miss focus by breathing. And it's also worth mentioning that it weighs 845 grams. Now the last section, which is the specialty lenses. Each one of these lenses are both for a specific reason and they are not for general shooting. XF 90mm f2 at $1,150 might be the single sharpest lens Fujifilm has ever made. Longtime Fuji shooters call it optically close to perfect. It sees like 135mm on full frame, quad linear motors, so the focus is close to instant. If you shoot outdoor portraits and you have the room to back up, this beats the 56mm from the fast glass section. And then there is the XF 500mm f5.6 at around $3,600, the Super Telephoto Prime. 1.3 kilograms, 500mm is basically like a 750 on a full frame camera, and it's a prime rather than a zoom for a reason. At this focal length, a fixed aperture prime is sharper and lighter than a zoom trying to cover the same reach. On a completely other end of the scale, XF 30mm f2.8 macro at $700 does true 1:1 magnification. That means a bug is projected onto your sensor as its actual real-life size. It focuses down to 10 centimeters and it's only 195 grams. It's also a perfectly good standard prime when you're not shooting insects, so it can double as a normal lens if you don't already own one. None of these three should be a first lens, but if you've got your everyday kit sorted and you know you need extra reach for portraits, serious wildlife, or genuine close-up work, these are then worth adding into your kit. And that's the entire Fujifilm X-series lens lineup. If you're still deciding which body to put it on, check out our ultimate guide to Fujifilm cameras right here. And I'll catch you in the next one.